Hello, I'm IBX2Cat and welcome back to another second channel video. Today I'm going to be doing part 3 of the Slovenia travel vlog, and it's not very a good travel vlog because I'm at home, but I figured I'd use this now that it's done, it's kind of out of the way, to address 1, some of the things that I spoke about in the video, 2, why I went to Slovenia in the first place, and 3, a few other things about the country that I kind of mentioned at some point in the time that wasn't really necessarily right. So that's what I'm going to be doing in today's video. So it's technically day 5, I came back on Saturday, it's now Monday probably. I don't keep very good track of days. Yeah, it's pretty sure it's day 5, but it's just after day 2's gone up. I've checked all your feedback, and I thought, yeah, let's start by explaining why did I go to Slovenia. I never mentioned it in videos. I'm just like, oh, we're going to Slovenia, by the way. You've never heard of that, but it's fine. The reason I went to Slovenia is because I wanted to I want to explore the world, that generic dream everyone has. But you know, and the easiest way to start is with Europe, because going from Europe to Europe, if you don't know, flights are super cheap if you're willing to go with, you know, Ryanair, EasyJet. I think the other ones are like Wow Air and Wizz Air. And yeah, basically I flew with Wizz Air for the first time because for £17, I just saw the flight. It's, you know, you can go from the UK to Slovenia, and that's a 2.5-hour flight. Like, it's literally almost one side of Europe to the other. Like, there's not much further I could have gone in Europe. And I thought, yeah, that's a great deal. Let's do it. So why did I go to Slovenia? Honestly, because I'd never heard of it and it was cheap. And that sounds like awful reasoning, but what are you going to do? I like to travel cheap if I can, and that's what I do. Second of all, the hotel I was staying in, it might have looked really nice, but it actually was only like, I think it was 100 and something euros for the 2 nights. Combine that with something like I spent not even 100. The most expensive thing I bought while I was there was actually, you know, the phone charger. I don't have it with me. So, you know, something like 200, you know, pounds for the total trip. Pretty good to see an entirely brand new country. So, some of the things I didn't properly address in the video that I might have started. One, the protests you saw outside my window, they weren't these crazy ultra-nationalists. It was actually just the opposition party. I believe they're a left-wing party. Their leader was put in prison wrongly, and basically they were just they do this protest every week or month or so, just to kind of, you know, let the government know they want a pardon or something. So it was actually reasonably peaceful. I guess the police were there just to make sure it stayed peaceful, but it wasn't actually dangerous. So that's a relief. It's really scary just to, you know, be like, what? I hear voices, and then there's just people marching, like a massive stream of them. So yeah, that was weird, but kind of cool. Third of all, Slovenia is not a former SSR. I think I made that comment, like, oh, yeah, I know it's a Soviet Republic former. It's not actually, it didn't actually used to be a Soviet Republic. So, a vague history, because you've probably never heard of Slovenia. Basically, it used to be a part of Yugoslavia. So, Yugoslavia is one of the really weird countries that I'm sure everyone's heard of, but not everyone knows the history of. And I'll be honest, I was in that same category, and then I spoke to a dude and I looked it up. Basically, Yugoslavia was one of the very few countries in Europe, it might be the only country in Europe, that wasn't either part of, you know, the Warsaw Pact or part of NATO. So if you don't know what those two things are, NATO is the American / Western Europe, like, you know, that basically the Allies minus Russia, and the Warsaw Pact was that side of Europe. I guess that's the easy way to put it. East Europe, West Europe, kind of two big alliances. If any country fights any other country, the whole bunch of them get on there, and yeah, that's kind of what that was. For some reason, Yugoslavia, I think it's because they were communist, like really communist, but they weren't the same type of communist as, what's his name, Stalin was. So instead of, you know, deciding to join the SSRs and being that whole thing, Yugoslavia did its whole own thing. So yeah, it was part of the unaligned movement, and they're technically a third world country by that explanation, because first world is, you know, the NATO, aligned with the US, and second world's aligned with Russia. So I think they technically count as a third world country. So fun little fact you might not have previously known. And yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool one. So, what else did I not address in there? I think I mentioned that, I'm not sure if I didn't mention this, I should have. I heard somewhere that it was actually the greenest city in Europe, and I was like, is that greenest as in greenery, or greenest as in recycling? And I still don't know, but I'd imagine it's actually probably both, because there was so much greenery. You know, their center had a massive greenery surrounded town, and they were also green in terms of recycling. Like, all the toilet paper was that brown weird stuff that feels weird at first, but you get used to it. They had just random taps where they're like, don't use bottled water, use this tap instead, just on the street, which I only used once because I was very thirsty, and I was a little suspicious of, but still, it's kind of nice. So yeah, very green in both ways. Part of Yugoslavia, not part of the USSR, and also Slovakia, even though they have super similar names, like Slovakia, Slovenia, not related at all. So I think that covers just about everything. The guy I met, I think he was like 30 or something like that, and there was also just a bunch of really cool things I didn't cover, but that's kind of everything. in the travel vlog. What did I think of Slovenia in general? Would I recommend it? If you can get a cheap flight and, you know, you're torn between a bunch of countries, I think Slovenia might be one of the nicest ones I go to. Obviously, I haven't been to anyone's else yet. Like, I'm going to check out a few of those kind of places, and then I guess we'll be able to say better. But honestly, it was just... Maybe it's because I went with such low expectations, but everything was just so nice, so friendly, just so cool. I liked it. It's nice. So yeah, it was the smallest capital city in Europe, and one of the smallest countries in Europe. Oh, the final thing, they do use the euro. That's why I kept mentioning euro. Is this... Oh no, this is... I think this is a Luxembourgish one. Do you see that? That's, what's his name? Jean-Claude Juncker, I believe it is. But, yeah, right, they use the euro. The only former communist country to do so. And also, they have free university education. And they're in this really broken situation where I believe... again, this is what the guy told me, that because university is free and you can keep enrolling, there's no limit, and because your employer gets a tax break if you're studying, it's actually better to be studying, so people just keep enrolling even when they're doing jobs, than it is to have finished and have a degree, because having a degree is nice and all, but if you have a degree and you're studying, it's way better. So that was confusing to comprehend, but it was kind of cool. And yeah, that's everything I wanted to say in today's video. So I hope you did all enjoy it. It was just a quick one, let you know about day 3. I'd recommend checking it out if you can find yourself, even if you can't find a cheap flight. I think it was just nice. It was super cheap and super great. So I'd do it again. I enjoyed my time there. I am in fact wearing a Toy Cat t-shirt in case you're curious. And I'll see you on the next video. So second channel, don't care. Goodbye. Oh, I'll be doing travel vlogs this next week. But yeah, goodbye.